Hello, I want to speak with you about something that I meet lately more than usual, both in myself and in men that I work with, and it is the wounded child. There seems to be a common thread of an inner child that is experiencing being abandoned, and it comes up around the opposites of work and play or leisure. Many of us work a lot and try to develop and build something, and it requires a lot of energy and time and concentration, and it means also that less time is being offered to this inner child that asks to play, go to the park, be with friends, enjoy good food, be responsible, and just be. Many of us learn very early that we need to earn our love, the blessing of our parents, and it means good grades, success in different endeavors, sports. It externalizes our value to objective things outside of us that we are being measured by. And it becomes very difficult, sometimes almost impossible, to distinguish between my value as an individual and my value as someone who is a part of a community that can be compared to others. I see that both for myself, for the men I work with, a slow, gradual process of connecting with that inner child, giving him a hand, building trust with him, that we see him and we would like to give him some of our time and energy. This child holds so much energy and emotion, and it's the full spectrum, from very deep sadness and grief that we might have avoided being in connection with, and it goes up to enormous joy and excitement and appreciation. And when we are out of touch with that inner center, this child, it can feel like we have no emotions, as if we're just thinking all the time and working. And no matter how much we're already doing it, there's this tension, push to work more, to think more, to understand more. So to take the time and to go outside and to play and to do things with spontaneity and with no purpose seems very difficult at times. But that's exactly the key that holds so much potential and allows to connect with this vulnerable and full of life part of ourselves. Vulnerability is also something very difficult for many of us to be in touch with, to express, to admit. There is a pattern of being hurt as a child and learning to avoid being vulnerable. And it makes sense for a while to refuse this vulnerability, to make sure that we have power, that we can defend ourselves. But there comes a time when all this lack of emotion and distance from life and from people, from love, is too much to bear, and life becomes too on the surface, too shallow, lacking meaning, lacking soul. And so a willingness to be once again vulnerable and open and dependent on others and on life and the uncertainty that is always present in life. As I experienced myself, so much is waiting for that connection, conscious, willing connection. And so usually a lot of pain surfaces when we start to connect with that inner child. A lot of difficult emotions rise to the surface, and with them a lot of energy and potential for change and for a new connection with life and with others. But I would say the main thing is building slowly this trust with the child by asking it what it needs, what it lacks, how can we help it. And answers come when we come with curiosity and openness, and then the ball is in our hands to find specific things, symbolic things to do for that child. And the recurring theme that I see is being in nature, getting away from the office, from home, from walls, being outside, either alone or with people. There's a great connection between the body and this child. It didn't learn to think and to name things as we can, as we tend to do so much. And it needs to be present to feel the emotions and the sensations. So that's part of what we practice when we do that kind of work. And it's surprising a lot of times how scary it sounds, even while approaching this child and starting to practice these things. But so much energy comes up that it can heal depression and fill us with new life, that the difficulty becomes very bearable and much less scary than we thought it would be. I often feel that there is a significant parallel between the self and the inner child, in the sense of infinite potential and energy and inherent wholeness. I often feel rewarded as a result of this work. The image that comes to mind is the self being born through me in the image of that child. And it reminds me a quote by Edinger that is said in one of his lectures. It's a paraphrase of an alchemical saying. The realized self is the son of the ego, as the philosopher's stone being the child of the alchemist. I believe this work, although it's individual work, inner transformation, it affects the collective as well. And I see it in my life, this channel for once, people around me, people I work with. And another quote by Eric Neumann that says, I'm paraphrasing, man is the medium through which the transpersonal expresses itself. And I feel there's a big connection with the child and those insights. I hope some of it resonated with you, and I'll see you soon.